Hey there, YouTubers. It's Leo Olderpold. And I'm enjoying the first of 2 weeks off work. So cheers. Just drinking some Earl Grey tea. And I'm smoking my little Morgan Bones. Beautiful pipe, this. Really like it. It's a nice little solid, robust, thick-walled, honest, down-to-earth pipe. As is the tobacco that I'm smoking in it. Or just about finished, I should say. But I'm going to break from tradition with this video because I'm going to do a review or something like it. Now, I'm not about to start doing tobacco reviews because my palate is not refined enough to be able to describe all of the subtle nuances of a given blend. So this will probably be the one and only tobacco review I ever do. But I think the tobacco deserves it. And because I don't think there is a review anywhere of it that is in English. So the tobacco I'm reviewing is Tom's Twist from the Motzek pipe shop, or Motzek tobacconist in Kiel, Germany. Now, a couple of weeks ago, you'll probably remember that I had a box opening from my good friend Wolfgang, Bogey73, who surprised me entirely when he sent me a card and a range of tobaccos. Excuse me. What's going on there, Mr. Man? Oberon's misbehaving. What's going on there, Mr. Man? Because he's not allowed out. Every time I put him out, he wants to come back in. Then I put him back out again. And then he comes back in again. And he wants me to be out in the garden with him. That's what he wants. But, well, I have other things to do. So now he's misbehaving and being a very naughty boy. Aren't you? So if you hear the occasional yowl, it's just him complaining. But where was I? Yes. So Wolfgang sent me, amongst other things, in this box opening, a sample of this tobacco, which I still have a little left of, right there. And I mentioned at the time that it was just astounding. It smelt wonderful. Well, I've been smoking a bit of it since, and I tell you, it really is fantastic. So Wolfgang and I were talking on Skype the other day. And I mentioned that it was just a wonderful tobacco. And he said, great, I'll send you some more. So he did, in true form. I got through the post today a huge, great twist of Motzek Tom's Twist. Now, I did a bit of research on the internet, and apparently Motzek do two of these. They do a dark one and a light one. Now, this is the dark one. Now, the dark one comprises of dark Kentucky and Perique, and the light one is a white Burley and Perique. Now, I haven't tried the light one, so this is just going to be a review of the dark one here. And it's just so beautiful. Look at that. It's just such a wonderfully well-presented tobacco. I'm not quite sure whether to smoke it or just hang it on my wall. Just hang it maybe where my mistletoe is, over there. I know, it looks a lot like a dog turd, but believe me, it doesn't taste anything like one. Not that I would know. But, as I said, it's a very small business, I believe, in Germany that makes it, a very small shop. Oh, excuse me, And so it's not one which is commonly available, although it is available. And it's really cheap as well, amazingly. I mean, that 100 grams is 17 euros. And when you think actually that's handmade, you know, that's the guys actually twisted that together by hand, I believe. That's just incredible value. Now, I commented in the box opening video about the smell of it. Well, I wasn't aware that the smell is from the Perique. It's a very strong, very rich, dark, fermented smell. A lot like silage. That's fermented grass that's fed to cattle. Which I couldn't put my finger on where that smell came from, but I believe it's probably the Perique and the way that the Perique is manufactured. But figuring as such a key ingredient of this tobacco, it's given it that really strong sort of fermented smell. And obviously the dark burley, the dark Kentucky, sorry, which is quite an interesting combination in itself because I'm not too familiar with Perique. I have a couple of vapors that I like, things like Dunhill's Deluxe Navy Rolls, All at Golden Sliced, those sorts of things, where Perique is usually really with a Virginia base. And with a Kentucky, it's really out of this world, and I can't honestly say that I've smoked anything like it at all. I mean, I've got dark, strong Kentucky, I've got some of the various Irish blends, I guess, I'm not sure. But I've not smoked anything like this twist. I have smoked a few twists recently, and most of them are comprised of Virginias predominantly, and they're then either steamed or unsteamed, giving you the black or the brown twists. The brown being stronger in nicotine, and the black ones being a little bit lighter. But that said, all twist tobaccos are, by their very nature, really quite strong. You know, they're not for the faint-hearted. But don't let that put you off, because it really is fantastic. I've also tried a few recently which purport to have some degree of flavouring added to them. So, for example, there's a Gareth and Hogarth, I think, do a rum twist, and there's one which has got sweet maple in it, which I guess is a maple syrup or something. And I've never been able to sort of really pick up any particular flavours from those. The overwhelming flavour you get is from the tobacco itself. So they're not for probably exclusive aromatic smokers or anything like that by any means. And certainly not for the inexperienced pipe smoker, I suppose. So, takes a little bit of preparation. They are quite moist. The twist is quite moist. So you need to slice it thinly, spread it out a little and dry it. Now I think this is actually going straight into a jar, and I think the jar time will probably help that process a little. But with, 10-20 minutes of drying after it's sliced, I don't really have any problems with keeping it lit or packing it. Now, as far as the flavour goes, well, it's astounding. It's primarily it's strong, but if you like a good, strong, robust tobacco, which is no nonsense, it's a natural tobacco taste, then really you can't go far wrong with it. I tend to smoke it in a smaller bowl, so this Morgan Bones is ideal. I also have a, where is it now? Oh yeah, I have a little tiny, Blake Marr Bulldog that is great to smoke it in. It's almost like having espresso, But that's precisely it. You wouldn't drink an espresso coffee out of a jug. So why would you do the same with the espresso of tobaccos? I think I've got to the end of this bowl now. The flavour is very earthy, very robust. I think if you're interested in trying twist tobaccos, then Gareth and Hogarth do a number where I think it's really worth starting with them. Primarily because it's the Gareth and Hogarth Gareth and Hogarth ones are quite readily available on the internet or from maybe your local brick and mortar. Certainly in England anyway, and I believe in a lot of Europe as well. And as this particular tobacco, the Tom's Twist, is quite difficult to get hold of. Although it is, although it is available on the internet, you can, I believe, buy direct from Motsec Tobaccos. It's probably best that you start with a different twist and one that's easier to get, and it will give you some idea. But if you can get past the strength of a twist tobacco, and that's your thing, then I cannot recommend this highly enough. I'm going to be getting some more of this for sure, but I think this is actually going to last me quite a long time because it's not something I smoke all day. It's it's a sort of late in the evening, late in the day smoke for me. Certainly not a breakfast smoke, but it's just absolutely beautiful. Look at it, absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's a work of art, and I think not just the presentation of the tobacco itself, but the Tom, the blender, who made this, I believe, really shows some skill in blending these two tobaccos together to make this, because the flavours complement each other perfectly. I mean, for me, yeah, I mean, it's a great tobacco to smoke outdoors, but then what isn't? And the flavour of it is something that's very reminiscent of a bygone age, I suppose. So that's it, really. This is the reason I don't do tobacco reviews. I'm sure somebody out there can do a much better review than I can. But it's really worth, if you are able to get some. I'm going to put the link to Motsec Tobaccos in the bucket underneath. If you really like your strong twists, then do give it a try. And it's cheap. I believe this is €17 for this. And when you consider it's handmade as well, that's just incredible value. Incredible value. But anyway, that's it. That's my quick review. I say quick, he's almost at 14 minutes, of Tom's Twist, Dark, by Motsec. If you get an opportunity, go and try some for yourself. And for those German pipe smokers out there who can get this stuff a lot easier, really just go and do it. It's fantastic. So that's it, folks. I'll probably do a video in the next couple of days at Christmas when I'm out in the woods. But until then, you guys take it easy. And I will see you all again soon. And thank you once again, Wolfgang, for stocking my tobacco cellar with some amazing things. It's very much appreciated. And I'll see you all soon. Okay, take care.